Hey everyone, it's Paul here and welcome to I Cook and Paint. You all know how much I love gingerbug sodas, and going by the response I've been getting from you guys, you seem to like them too. Well, today we're gonna make a really unique flavored soda, and it's based on an actual one that was first made here in Brooklyn. This here is Dr. Brown's Cel-Ray, and it just might be the weirdest soda you've ever heard of. Way back in about 1868, the J&R Bottling Company here in Brooklyn, New York created a tonic that was flavored like celery. Yeah, it was sold as a tonic at first, but then they had to change it to a soda because I guess it wasn't tonic-y enough. Of course, I pulled out my gingerbug when I got home and I tried to make my own version. And you know what? It's actually pretty good. Don't diss it till you try it. I started out with 1 cup of chlorine-free water, to which I added a 1/4 cup of sugar. Now, Dr. Brown's Cel-Ray is a bit of a golden color, so I added in a touch of molasses to get that effect. That's not unlike my ginger ale recipe, which I've also linked in the description below. I only heated this water up just enough to dissolve that sugar and to steep a few little lemon peels here because I wanted a little bit of a lemony flavor to my soda. I threw a cover on it and set it aside to steep just for about 10 minutes. Then I took a couple of fresh celery stalks and broke them in half, and then in half again. I'm using 2 here because I am only making about 2 cups worth of soda here, so I figure 1 stalk of celery per glass is plenty. I whizzed the celery at high speed in the food processor until it was really finely diced. I didn't even care if it got mushy at all, I just wanted it really broken down. This is gonna get strained in the end, so I didn't care. Now I took my steeped little mixture here with the lemon peels and added in the second half of chlorine-free water. The reason I add in the second half of my water in cold is because I want this mixture to be cooled down before adding in the celery. So I'm gonna add in my celery, and then I'm gonna squeeze in the juice of half a lemon. Now, normally Dr. Brown's Cel-Ray doesn't have lemon in it, but I always like to add in some citrus juice to my gingerbug sodas. I find it cuts down on that funky fermented flavor. Now let this cool completely before adding in the gingerbug, which is this stuff right here. All this is a fermented mixture of ginger, sugar, and water. This has been sitting in my fridge for about 2 months, so what I did was I pulled it out, I added in a little fresh ginger and sugar, I let it sit at room temperature for a few hours until it got nice and bubbly. That's when you know it's ready to use to ferment your sodas. By the way, if you're interested in learning how to make your own gingerbug, I do have a video on that and I've linked it in the description below. I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of my bubbly active gingerbug to this cooled mixture. I'm going to mix it in really well, and now it's time to strain this into a measuring cup, preferably one with a spout to make it easy to pour. So I'm going to get rid of all those solids, and now I'm going to add this to a bottle with a swing top. You want something with a nice tight seal. By the way, you can also use a recycled plastic pop bottle. If you don't have one of these, that works fine also, but I'm a big fan of the swing tops. And by the way, please don't use a cheap glass bottle from the dollar store, guys. You do want something that's strong enough that can withstand gas buildup during fermentation. Then I'm going to put this in a warm place to ferment. Now, as for our gingerbug, you always want to refeed it after using it. So you want to take a piece of ginger. It's very important to leave that skin on there. And I'm just going to chop it really coarsely. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to measure anything here. I'm going to add some of that into my jar along with a little bit of sugar, and I'm going to top it up with a little bit of more chlorine-free water. I'm going to put the lid on really tight, give it a good shake, and now I can pop it in the fridge until I'm ready to use it again. Now, as for fermentation, depending on how hot it is, your soda might carbonate within about 6 hours, but if it's really cold where you are right now, it could take up to maybe 5 or 6 days. In any event, you're gonna know your soda is carbonating properly when you can see a little bit of a white scum forming on the top. And I strongly advise you to burp your bottles every few hours if it's really hot where you are right now. You might want to open your bottle of soda over the sink just in case it shoots out when you crack it open. Kind of like what I did here. I failed to burp my bottles and it was really hot when I made this, so I made a little bit of a mess on the floor. Oopsie. And that's it, guys. That's how you make your very own version of Dr. Brown's Cel-Ray a la gingerbug with a little hint of lemon. So what do you think? Are you gonna give this weird flavor soda a go, or is it a little too over the top for you? Let me know by leaving me a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video.